You ever wake up and you're just salty as can be? Well, today I didn't just wake up and I was salty. I got a little salt thrown on me all day long. So let's get into it. We're gonna have an end of the month market update, see what's going on in the Las Vegas market, and let's start talking about the housing market because we are going into summer, which is traditionally the busiest time in real estate. And I just want to talk about what's going on. So let's start with the good news. And I actually think it's good news. A friend of mine called me today with guess what? Well, she was able to put her second house in escrow this week, end of May.
Wow.
Like, normally you'd probably say, so what? You have to understand how tough it's been. And for the second time this week, she was able to put a house in escrow and only had to offer $15,000 over the asking price. As a matter of fact, on this one house, no one else has seen the house. No one's been there. House was listed for $325,000 and they originally offered $330,000. House was listed for $325,000 and they offered $330,000. No one else over the weekend went to see the house. The seller was not satisfied. The seller wanted $340,000. Remember, $325,000 was already overpriced. So they came back at $335,000. Seller rejected the offer at $335,000. He wanted $340,000. Remember, no one else has put in an offer. This was not a multiple offer situation. So they offered $340,000 because the buyer needed to move. And then the other agent comes back and talks to my friend and goes, why didn't you just offer that in the first place? And the agent was like, why don't you just ask for $340,000 to begin with, because $325,000 was overpriced to begin with on that one. I'm saying this because things have gotten so ridiculous. People who know their houses aren't worth anything, even when they put them up for what they're not worth, because people are not overbidding on their houses, are not satisfied anymore. Yet it's starting to catch up with them because the same agent, a house they put in a bid over for and lost. The agent contacted them this week, this morning to be exact, and went, hey, remember you put that bid in and you didn't get it? Well, the buyer, they didn't pay their earnest money. Do you mind putting in another bid, or can we just go with the bid you put in? And, you know, this was, they just got this offer accepted. So it was like really funny for them. This greed is starting to turn back. So all this greed and hate in your heart that you sellers have been having, let's see how that works out, because it's starting to snap back. Now, fewer homes are actually being sold now. More people are starting to wake up, and they're starting to say, what in the world am I doing? I ain't from California. I ain't gonna spend my 401k buying a house from somebody who's already saying my house, the house is worth $300,000. I want $325,000, and now even with that, nobody's bidding on it. But I want more. So as we come into the summer, I think some people are going to start to panic, and they're going to go like, "Oh, if I wait, I'm not going to get 25 offers." Your 25 offer time has passed. I declare it now. The 25 offer time has passed. So for you buyers, it's not, the prices are not coming down. The people who paid that $30,000 and $40,000 and $50,000 over, they set the price for you. But Fortunately, they set the price, let those transactions close. Those will become the new prices, unfortunately. But guess what? The houses will now appraise. So you're not going to have to pay over. And I think this still will be a robust summer. But I think a lot of people, aka sellers, are going to finish with their little panic and go like, ah, I'm not going to get 40,000 over. And it's going to be over because I'm starting to see it. More houses are starting to come back on the market as buyers go, wait a minute, what have I done? Because people were doing this whole, I'm going to waive appraisal, I'm going to waive the inspection, and now they're going like, I was drinking all night long and I have a hangover now. And I just woke up next to, yeah, and they're trying to sneak out. It's like Coyote Ugly, and they're trying to gnaw their arm off. And that's going to come back to bite. So the sellers who've been sticking on the sidelines, better get that house on the market by end of June, because everybody else is going to start putting it out there. And when it starts putting it back out there and somebody starts seeing a glimmer of hope, you're going to have the buyers who are going to do the opposite of what the sellers have been doing, and not doing like old boy there who was sitting on the ground going like, I know I'm asking $325, my house is worth $300. When someone offers them $330, when you're asking $325, and nobody came to see your house over a week except for this person, and they put an offer above what you asked for the house, and then you go, that's not enough. Ultimate in greed. And when I started off and I was talking about my salt and greed, because remember I started this off not talking about waking up salty and everything, had to do with what happened just before I started this recording. Now, I've been trying to upgrade my computer for a minute, and I made some mistakes. I ain't gonna lie. Gotta lie. Can't lie. When I purchased a computer, it's a high-end computer, and you know, they do the old, we'll put, you know, your C drive as your SSD so it'll run fast, which it does, or did. But Windows kept getting bigger. My software that I put on there was more and more, so it bogged it down. So I needed a larger SSD. Well, I didn't do a good job in cloning it, so I called in one of those people from Craigslist who will come to your house and do stuff. Guy just said, oh, you just copied it wrong. I'll just copy it again. No big deal. We sat here, we shot the crap for a bit, finished it up, throw it in, works right. Now, on Craigslist, you know, they have those prices, you know. We'll do this for $75, you know, we got the best prices in town. Oh, sir, this is going to be $250. What? On your little Craigslist thing says $75. They ain't going to sit there and claim nobody's going to come out and do this for less than, he was here for 2 whole hours working. He worked for 5 whole minutes. The time it was copying, we were sitting here shooting the crap. We were watching YouTube videos together. $250. See, that's housing greed there. And then going to sit there and talk about he's giving me a break, and then going to claim that he's going to show me a receipt from somebody else he did some work from this day. See, here's the problem. I got a brain. I called him at 8:30 in the morning. If he came here, and after I called him at 8:30, how'd you do another job where you made $358? You came. On top of that, the receipt he showed me was dated 1 day before today. Why you gonna lie like that? I guess it's just the Vegas way. Integrity again. Remember my last video about integrity? Yeah. So let's see if it comes back to bite on him. Remember when you go to Craigslist and you see those things, you need stuff, and they have those prices? My fault too. I could have just asked up front. You know how long this is going to take to dupe a hard drive? How much you going to charge me? I should have done that. I blame myself. I do. So, housing prices. They're just going to continue to go up, but not as fast as they were. I predict for the rest of this summer, we're still going to be having some multiple offers. It's probably not going to be 30 and 40 anymore. You're going to be back to the 5 and 6 like we had last summer. It's probably going to be list price and a little bit above. A little bit. Not 20, 30, 40, 50,000. And hopefully maybe all the Californians have sold their house. As far as the rest of it, prices are still going up, but fewer houses are being sold. So let's wait until the end and they finish up the rest of the statistics for this month, and we figure out how much of that is being done or driven by fewer people buying houses. Because who's got that money? People run out of money at one point, and at some point you just run into a wall. It doesn't matter if the housing prices can't go back down because of economics, but there still is that supply and demand where you run into a wall. And what if housing prices just stick there on that wall? We don't know. I don't know. I haven't done the economics on it yet, but I'm keeping my eyes on it. So keep your eyes on the housing market. Hit that subscribe button and hit that next video, y'all.